Hey everybody, you're watching Cadroll Hunter, and today we are going to be hunting quarters, but these are not just any quarters. These are quarters that I got from a collection I purchased, and I believe all of them are commemorative quarters, and I see a little hint of color on this overstuffed roll right here. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel Cadroll Hunter. If you've been watching my channel lately, you know I made a huge coin collection purchase, and part of that were these rolls of quarters. So these are probably circulated quarters, but what I know for a fact is that they are all likely commemoratives. I know that because Tristan, Edgar's son, and it was Edgar's collection who I purchased, Tristan went through these and rolled them up. They were actually all loose in a jar. So he knows they're all commemoratives. And I think he's actually sorted them out so that they might actually be together in rolls. But we're going to take a look and see what's in here. I might not keep many of them at all if they're all circulated. But if there are some nicer examples, we'll probably keep those. And I believe there might be several rolls of 1973 RCMP quarters, and we definitely want to scope them all to see if we've got the fabled large bust. I've never found that yet, and I would love to. Well, you know what? Less talk, more action. Let's get started. So we've got the setting evening sun here illuminating this coin here, casting a long shadow. This is a 2011 Legendary Nature. This is the Orca. This looks like a pretty good example, actually. This also comes in a colorized version where part of the design is colorized. And this one, unfortunately, has a pretty big scratch on it, so we're not going to hold on to that one. And it looks like we're moving right into some of these Millennium ones. There's the 1999 November. There are some versions we want to find. We looked at them in a recent video where there's a mule for some of these that are missing the 25 cents on the back, and some that have a rotated die we'll want to look for. There is the December 1999, and it looks like we might have a bunch of these ones. September and November are the 2 months we want to look at for the mule where we don't see 25 cents on the back, so hopefully we got a bunch of those. And further into that roll, we did find a pretty nice example, one that we'll probably want to hold on to. And then I can see we've got a Tecumseh. Now this is the War of 1812, so they're not necessarily all in solid rolls. There is the October. Now there is the November, so this is the one we're looking for, that mule, and that is not it, but it looks like we might have a few to check. It would look the same as the rest, but not say 25 cents, of course. And here's the September. That is the other month for the mule. Oh, and there's a pretty nice looking peregrine falcon too. Beautiful one. We're going to definitely hold on to that one. Same roll here. We got some Stanley Cups, and we're definitely finding some nice examples. So it's possible that Edgar might have been pulling these aside right when they were issued. He was doing this for a long time. This is pretty recent. This is 2017, and it is in gorgeous condition. We'll definitely set that aside. Here's another one right here. Also looks to be in pretty much uncirculated condition. And here is another beautiful one, another 2012 Tecumseh. I'm going to have to take my time here because there are some that are just in gorgeous condition. That is perfect. I'm not sure if they're all going to be like that, but it looks like many of them may be. That's fantastic. So I'm putting all the keepers right at the very top here. I pushed all the quarters back, and I am going to line up all these Millennium ones here by their order of their month. I've laid out roll number 2, and check this out. I found something I've never actually found before. And Edgar obviously found it. This is a Millennium medallion. Check this out. It is from Canada Post from the year 2000. This was issued in a special issue set of stamps to commemorate the turning of the millennium. And it is the same size and specifications as a quarter. It's got the same reeded edge. It's obviously, you wouldn't tell the difference if it was sitting here with quarters. So it's not actually a quarter. It has no face value. It's not worth 25 cents, but it is a really cool coin roll hunting find that collectors often find, coin roll hunters. I've just never found one in a roll, but that is a really cool one that I'm going to hold on to for my collection. Here we've got some 400th anniversary of St. Croix. This is from 2004. Beautiful quarter with a boat on it, probably in a storm. Really, really cool. We got a whole bunch of them, so I'll look to see if there are any that are in really great condition there. And then some more Millennium ones here. This is the Celebration from 2000. Beautiful. Looks like we're going to find some more nice ones here. This is the Wisdom from 2000. There are 4 from 2000 you want to look out for. The 2000 Pride and Harmony both have a rare rotated die. So if you were to flip the coin over, if you were to actually flip it like this, you should see this, the queen upright. If you flip it and you see the queen on a different angle, that's the one you're looking for. There are 2 others, and that is the 2000 Creativity and the Community. There are rare issues where they have the P composition mark. They shouldn't have. And if you find that on the obverse below the queen, those are also exceptionally rare. There's really only a handful that have been certified. Roll number 4 is going to have some beauties. I love these 2015 Canada flags. These ones look to be in pretty nice condition. I don't know how many we're going to get. It looks like there's at least a bunch. There's a Laura Secord, also in nice condition. So these are still mixed. There is the Hope for the Green Future from 2017, and this one is also in really nice condition. That is another one of my favorites. We're getting all sorts of great stuff here. I will have to, and the Big Poppy. Some of these, of course, are in beautiful colorized versions. That's another really gorgeous one. Any of these, like I said, that are in really nice condition, like these, I'm going to hold on to, and hopefully they can find their way into other folks' collections who are looking to fill some spots, because it would be a shame to send some of these back to the bank. These ones are just in beautiful shape. Look at these guys. There are a bunch of really nice 2013 Arctic Expedition quarters here. What's really interesting about this one is that there are 2 varieties. The one on the right, the explorer's clothing is frosted. You can see that. But the one on the left, it's actually the compass in the background, the ring around that, just under Canada 25 cents. That is frosted, and the explorer's clothes aren't. These 2 are in gorgeous condition. I'm going to hold on to those. And there are certainly more of them in here. So again, any of the really nice ones I'm going to hold on to. Same roll, and we've got some commemoratives from 2013. And this one also has 2 versions. And the one on the left, you'll see that there are 2 beluga whales in the top, little ones, and they're frosted. And then only the very front of this bowhead whale is frosted. But on the right-hand side, it's much of the bowhead whale in the front that is actually frosted. So another one with 2 varieties. And these ones are also in exceptional shape. So lots of keepers in here. This is really nice. Looks like roll number 5 is going to be all Vancouver 2010 Olympics. And I'll go through these very carefully. There's really one unusual variety we want to look for, and that is actually in this wheelchair curling, which happens to be the first one on the roll. Each of these has either the Paralympic logo, like this one does, or the Vancouver 2010 logo, like this one does, if I let it focus. The mule, the wrong one, is this wheelchair curling. There were some that actually had the Vancouver 2010 Olympics rather than the Paralympic Games logo. So we'll be looking for those. Otherwise, as before, I'm going to set aside any of the ones here that are in much nicer condition. And I can see just a little bit here. We're going to get one of these ice hockey ones. These are also Olympic commemoratives. Slightly different. The men's hockey, women's hockey, and there is a Cindy Clausen one. And they both come in, or they all come in color or non-color as well. So this is pretty exciting. This one looks like it's all going to be a full roll of 1973 RCMP. And I knew there were going to be a bunch in here because this is one that Tristan was aware of, that there's a variety. So he did his best to see if he could find the large bust, which is the one you want to look for. However, he admitted that he had a really hard time trying to discern what the difference would be. and he might have let something slip. So I'm going to look through them all because that's just what I need to do. But we'll take a peek and see what we're looking for here. Throw it under the scope. And the two markers are that, and this might not be a great example because it's got the ring of death, but this is the common small bust. And the two markers that we're looking at are the beads along the rim. There's a lot of space between the rim and the beads, and there's a lot of detail in the hair. The large bust, it's actually the same as the 1972. The beads are very close to the rim, and there's a lot less detail in the hair. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm not going to scope them all on camera here, but this is a variety, the large bust, that is likely potentially still out there, but it's one of the best known Canadian varieties. So a lot of people have been looking. I've never found one. I would love to find one. If there was one here, that would be incredible, but we'll find out in a moment. Roll number 7 looks like it might be a mix of the 2005 Year of the Veteran and the 2002 Canada Day. It seems to be that way, and it looks like there's some really nice examples in here as well. We'll take a closer look at that design. You can see a veteran and a younger soldier behind there. And then this one is people holding what looks to be a maple leaf. It looks like they're waving it like they might wave a parachute the way the kids would play. And those are some ribbons in there. They're not scratches on the coin. No large bust in that last roll of 1973s, but I did find a couple of really nice small busts to hold on to. But we got 40 more chances for glory, it looks like here. So we've gone through those first 10. I'm starting to stack them up over here. I had piled some up over here. All of the keepers are along the top there. We found some really nice ones, but I'm getting impatient. So I want to go grab this roll right here. It looks to be overstuffed, and it has color on it, I think. So let's get into this and see what we got. There is definitely some color and a little bit of gunk. That's the colorized wood bison. And we've got the orca and the peregrine falcon. Looks like we're going to have a bunch of color in here. We've got the Laura Secord, the Sir Isaac Brock. Really nice looking peregrine falcon. Another Laura Secord, Tecumseh. We're going to get a bunch. There's going to be the 2006 pink ribbon. That one looks pretty nice too. That's one of the most common ones, the 2006. It looks like we might get a bunch of those, which wouldn't surprise me at all. I'll stack these guys up. It looks like these all might be pink ribbons. Oh, we got some 2004 poppies here. That might be perhaps the rest. So lots of color. That's pretty awesome. The short roll was the rest of these 1973s, so we haven't had any luck so far, and that's just going to be the small bust. We might strike out this one. That wouldn't be unexpected, I'd say. Well, I've lost track what roll we're in now, but it looks like this one here is going to be all hockey. We got a whole bunch of Stanley Cups here, and I just love that one. And then we're going to get into some of these. That's the women's hockey. Oh, that's the men's hockey. Right behind it was the women's hockey. And we might even have, let's see, maybe some Cindy Clausen in here. Yep. So we're going to have all of these Olympic medal commemoratives plus a bunch of Stanley Cups. And this is a great one. And as I am filming it right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are doing their best to make it to the next round in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Go Leafs, go! We got 10 rolls to go here, and this one is all going to be provincials. This is pretty circulated. It's a Saskatchewan. The ones we want to look out for, the New Brunswick is the lowest, minted at just 2,174,000. But there are some rotated dies, New Brunswick, Northwest Territories, and a very rare Saskatchewan. So we'll want to look for that. This Saskatchewan here does not feature that. It's not in great shape. Again, it's usually common to find these ones in pretty good shape. They're from 1992, but people set them aside because they were commemoratives, of course. So we'll see if we can find any nice ones, any of the New Brunswick, anything with a rotated die. I've never found one, but that's why I'm always looking, because you just never know. We found a little stack of keepers in that roll, but there were no New Brunswick. I thought that was curious until I picked up the next roll, and it says 1992 provinces, New Brunswick. I don't know if this is going to be a whole roll of New Brunswick, but that would be pretty cool. So that first one's a pretty nice looking Saskatchewan, definitely not a New Brunswick. Alberta, Ontario. There are some other ones that are not the 1992. I found a few in the other roll. This is the Saskatchewan from 2005. Yukon. Oh, and there's a pretty nice looking Alberta from 2005. That's probably a keeper, that one. But so far, no New Brunswick. Well, there we go. We've got a New Brunswick here. It looks like we might have a few of them. I usually hold on to all of the New Brunswicks that I find, and there's actually a bunch in here. That is pretty cool. That might be the end of it, but maybe 7 or 8 of them right there. This next roll appears to be a full roll of Bravery and Canada flag coins, the Canada Day issue. This looks pretty awesome, including this one at the front, which looks to be in perfect, beautiful shape. Look at that one, a keeper for sure. Wow. Looks like we're going to have another roll of Provincials, and many of them look like they're just very lightly circulated or almost uncirculated. That's a nice one right there. That's in Ontario. And let's see if we've got other provinces. Oh, we sure do. Saskatchewan. That's when we want to look for that rotated die. So Nova Scotia, more Saskatchewan, Alberta. Some you can see we got some scratches on here. So once again, I'll be looking to see if we've got any keepers. That first Ontario looked really nice. Hopefully there's a few more gems in here. This roll is marked Alberta and Saskatchewan, and it looks like they're the 2005 here. And this is pretty awesome. Again, we saw some of these earlier, and any gems I'm going to keep. That's a nice one right there. Here's a look at that Saskatchewan commemorative. That's 100 years in Confederation right there. And this is also a pretty nice example. The last roll here is labeled 2000, and that looks to be exactly what we've got here. I'll search out any gems from this roll to add to my growing stack of gems that we found through this bunch of rolls. Wow, so many fantastic commemoratives in this bunch of quarters, and we got some really nice examples, starting with that 1973. We got a stack here of really nice Provincials, plus I always keep all of my New Brunswick. We got a bunch of those. A bunch of the Millennium, 1999 and 2000. We got that 2002 Canada flag, the 2005 Year of the Veteran, as well as the Alberta and Saskatchewan Confederation. We got some beautiful 2006 Bravery. I often don't find these ones in great shape. All the way back over here, starting with the Olympics, we got a couple of those medal commemoratives, a stack of really nice Vancouver 2010 different sports. We found some of the legendary nature, a couple of War of 1812 to keep, those Arctic explorers and the whales, those two, of course, having the different versions with the frosted different parts of the coin. Really, really cool. That gorgeous Remembrance Day poppy and the Canadian flag. Some gorgeous Stanley Cups there and the Hope for a Green Future. And we found some color too. The 2004 Remembrance Day poppy and a bunch of the 2006 Pink Ribbon. And we got all 3 of the legendary natures. We got the peregrine falcon, the orca, and we got the wood buffalo or wood bison, and some War of 1812. And of course, we got a bit of a bonus that's not even a quarter, and it's this Millennium medallion from Canada Post that I haven't found before coin roll hunting. And what an awesome addition to my collection. I hope you enjoyed looking at a whole whack of commemoratives here. On this channel, we do coin roll hunting, we do collection purchases. That's what this was part of. And anything really numismatic related, I might just do a video on it. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Cat Roll Hunter, hit the button and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Find out when my new videos are coming out. I have videos coming out all the time. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again next time.